Greetings, everybody. LVW coming with another episode of Noob Sauce. So, in this episode, we're going to have a little excitement. So, let's get ready. What we're going to do here is we're actually going to travel to the Nether, another dimension within the game. At least at the very, I have my iron armor. It's a little damaged, as you can tell. I've been doing a lot of fighting. I don't have the enchanting table set up yet. I will be covering that next episode, and we'll be going over that. I do have a bow with limited arrows and stuff, so we have enough that if we go there, we'll be safe. What I'm going to do is, remember that little desert island that's kind of like right over there? That's where we're going to set up our portal. Now, we're going to be pretty close to where we spawn into the world, because we spawned into the world just right up there. Alright? So, we're going to take our boat and go over to the desert island. There's a few things I want to explain to you before we actually get into the Nether. So, we got a lot of explaining to do. Alright, now up here, there was a little, there was like a little lip of dirt up here. I shaved that lip off. This is one single layer that was up here. And I placed a sign here marking out where I'm going to put the portal to begin with. I have an idea of what I want to do later on in an episode. So for right now, I'm just going to make a basic portal, cover the basics, and then I'll come back to this and do something with it a little bit later, decoration-wise. Okay. To get to the Nether, you have to use what's called a Nether portal, or as we just say, just a portal. And for that, you need a block called obsidian. Now, the only way to mine obsidian is with a diamond pick. I believe I've already shown you that that's what you had to do when I got the obsidian for the enchanting table. So, if you don't have obsidian because you don't have a diamond pick, there is another method you could use to create a portal even before you get diamonds. And I'm going to also show you that method. I'll show you both. Alright, now, I've already marked out the coordinates. It's very important to know your coordinates. The way the Nether works is there's a difference between the overworld, which is this world, and the Nether. The difference is 8 specific blocks. In other words, for every 8 blocks you travel in the overworld, you travel only 1 block in the Nether. Or vice versa. If you travel 1 block in the Nether, you travel a grand total of 8 blocks here in the overworld. Let me throw some torches here because I see I'm going to lose the light shortly. I have a little bit more explaining to do. Okay. So, with that being said, I already know what my coordinates is because unfortunately, when you randomly create a portal and don't place one in the Nether will automatically generate a portal for you in the Nether, but it will not actually align it to the actual coordinates that you place down. How a portal works is it works on an approximation of the coordinate system. We try to align the portals as best as we can so that if you have multiple portals, which eventually we will, it tracks to the right portal. And there's a few other little nuances you need to know. Like right now, the middle number, we're not going to worry about the middle number. That's not something we need to worry about at this time. But it's the X and the Z, or Z for Europe, that do really matter. Alright, so now we're going to start forming a portal. The minimum amount of obsidian blocks you need to form a portal is 10 obsidian. To make a full square, you need 14, but you can actually take the corners out. You don't actually have to put the corners of the portal in order for it to function. Alright, so the first method I'm going to show you is this is called molding. This is if you don't have obsidian or don't have a diamond pick to get obsidian and you want to get to the Nether as quickly as possible. You're going to take a lava source. Okay, and you put it in a hole, which is our mold. This is our mold. Since I have 2 blocks here, I'm going to mold 2 blocks at the same time. Alright, so now I have 2 lava sources. You can't have flowing. You need 2 lava sources in this case. And I'm going to surround this with a junk block. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bucket of water, not place it in there because you'll lose it. I'm going to place it like, on one of these blocks, and what's going to happen is it's going to automatically create the obsidian blocks for us. Again, this is called molding. So if I wanted to say build up, that's the bottom, that's the base. This is the minimum number you need for your bottom and your top. 2 blocks. These two right here. And those coordinates right there are these 2 blocks. Okay? So if I was to mold the rest of this, all I would do is build a tube like this, put the lava source there, put some more here, and put the water source here, and then we would do that for 3 blocks going up. And then, of course, you do the same for the top going across. But I actually managed to find diamonds. I went and actually mined it out, which takes forever without any kind of enchant. So we're going to place a block here. Now, again, remember, there's that corner piece that you can put in there. You do not have to put that corner piece in there. It's not important to the actual function of the portal. Okay, so we're going to go up 3 blocks. This is the minimum you need to get a portal to function. So we're going to go up 3. And then we're going to put over 2 on top. Okay, so I'm going to put a torch here and here. And then I'm going to jump down. Alright, there's our portal. But it ain't working. The reason it's not working is because we actually have to activate the portal. It doesn't activate when you create the portal. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a crafting table. Actually, you can do it in your personal grid if you really want to. You need a flint, which you get from mining gravel, and 1 piece of iron. And you put these 2 pieces together, you get what's called a flint and steel. Now, flint and steel, for those who don't know, generates a spark. In this case, a fire for us. And this is how we actually activate this portal. Bam. There you go. Once you see that purple hue like wall thing with the swirlies and the little purple effects flying around, you've activated your portal. Now the portal on the other end still hasn't been created yet. The reason for that is because we actually haven't physically gone into the nether at this time. Once we... look at that! Right off the bat, we actually got somebody coming through from the nether. That's a zombie pigman. Okay? They can actually be created here in the overworld when lightning strikes a pig. Now, these are the main mob inside the nether. The thing is they're a neutral creature until you attack them. And the only problem is there are so many in the nether that they have that zombie call effect. And they just call in this massive mob of zombies, and it's a death match. Now, he's by himself, so we can probably kill him. And I'll show you what they sound like and how mad they get. Hopefully he'll drop something interesting. Ready? Let's go. Here. That means they're mad. That right there. Okay. He didn't drop a gold nugget, which I was kind of hoping he would do. But he did drop his gold sword, which is enchanted. So I can actually show you an enchant on a sword. If you look at the screen, you see it says golden sword, and underneath it says knockback 1. That's an enchantment. So in other words, if he hit me with that sword, he would actually have pushed me back. We can actually take this sword and use it if we really want to, or we can melt it down for a gold piece. Now, before I go in here, I just want to point something out here. You see this hole here, there, that hole right there? Okay, that is called Enderman griefing. I kind of briefly mentioned it in a previous episode. I didn't really go over it. Endermen pick up blocks, and they do what's called griefing. So they'll pick up a block, and then they'll like walk around with it and whatever, and eventually they will place it down somewhere in the world. That's happens a lot, and sometimes your build will get destroyed because of it. So just be mindful of that, keep an eye on that. Alright, let's get to business. Now we're going to go in here. Now when you step through the portal for the very first time, you really have to be careful because you're not sure where you're going to form. I mean, you could form over a giant lava lake. You can actually even form inside a lava fall. So just be mindful about when you step through what's going to happen. Alright, let's get through to the other side. Step in, you do this whirly thing. Okay, now since we're going in for the first time, the game actually has to generate the world for the very first time. So it's going to take a little longer than if you already are in the world. And there we go, we have our advancement. We need to go deeper. And luckily enough, it appears like the timing is because of we're still generating the world. Okay, wow. Alright, good. We're on a stable land. We have a ceiling above us, a floor below us, which is good. Look how close we were to that lava source. And now look at that. Lava is starting to flow because we've entered the world and all the lava sources are starting to generate, which is why there's lag and stuff. And it's flowing. If we were a couple blocks over, we would have been inside that lava source, which would have definitely hurt. Alright, now, this is the Nether, guys. Alright, and I'm going to cover that in a moment. Alrighty. We are now in the Nether. I've reset my timer. Alright, so there. See that white thing? That ghost-like thing? That's called a ghast. That's a very hostile and dangerous mob here in the Nether. Here, oh, he shot at me. He shot me a fireball. I gotta hit it back at him. This is gonna probably... Nope, I missed. It's gonna hit there. Okay. He got closer to me than I was hoping for. That's a ghast. And that's what they do. They shoot fireballs at you. Alright. And you can hit them back either with your sword or whatever, even your hand. You can shoot it back with your arrow and try to hit him. But if it explodes, you saw what happened here. I think he disappeared. Which is fine. And these are some other... I'll cover these blocks in a moment. Let's go down here. Let me just show you what this did here. So it came over here, exploded this area, and set it on fire. I mean, that was a fireball, so of course it's going to set everything on fire, and it damaged this like land area. Netherrack is actually very soft material. You could punch it and break it, and you know it doesn't take that long. Netherrack burns, though. The original name for this when they were developing this dimension was Hell. I'm not even sure. Did he still call? Yes. If you look at the bio name, if you look at the bio name here, it's still actually listed as Hell. All right, but they changed that to the Nether because I think they didn't really want to offend anybody, which is fine. It's cool. But it gives you the idea of what this dimension is about. So either that's a new one that formed, or he is back to try to get me. So let me get over here a little bit so he won't bother me while I can describe a couple more things. Now this is called Netherrack. If you need to mine this Netherrack, you have to use a pick. And see how soft it is? It's almost like mining sand with your hand, but you will go through a pickaxe like crazy. Alright? And then you can do a lot of different things with this Netherrack, which I will show you. Alright. Let's see. What else do we have here as far as these blocks, since we're right here? This thing right here, this is called soul sand. And these little swirly things are actually like supposed to be souls. Alright. This is like a tilled earth thing. You can't see it here, but you notice when I step on it, I kind of step down like I'm stepping down on tilled earth, and I move a lot more slower here. It's a slowing effect. You need this to grow an item called netherwort, which is what we use for brewing. And a lot of things coming up quick. See that hoppy thing that looks red with yellow eyes? Oop, if I can get up here. That is a magma cube, okay? That's another hostile... Oh, no! He's gonna destroy the portal. No. Ow. Okay. See. I missed that one. I'm just fine. I need to get rid of this ghast. Come on. Alright, let's see if I can't get that achievement together. Ouch. Alright. He's far enough away now. Just gonna switch over to my bow, see if I can hit him that way. He drops... ooh! There's two of them. Oh, okay. I missed. Come on, I did. Oh, I just missed him. And he's screwing me up. Alright, I killed him. You're that little kid. I kind of killed him. Alright, he did me pretty bad. That's alright, though. You know what happens. Did he, by any chance... I'm not sure where he died. Let's go check out his stuff. Fortunately, this is going to be a hard episode. Hopefully I don't have to break it up into different segments to cover some stuff. I got my arrow back. Great! See that dark red, almost like brick structure? That's a fortress. That's another feature we're going to have to cover, and that's one of the things we do eventually want. I think I killed him over this lava pool, which means anything he dropped, it got destroyed. Let's get back to the basics and get you going. Let's get back up to where we were. So, as I was saying, this soul sand is used for growing an item called netherwort, which you use in potion brewing. Okay, and it's the only thing that netherwort will grow on is this here, the soul sand. One of the most important items I've come here for is, see this white like fleck block of netherrack? That's called quartz. That's one of the reasons why I came here, because in order to start building some certain Minecraft redstone contraptions, I need this item, this nether quartz. One of the redstone components I need is called a comparator. And to make a comparator, I need a quartz piece. Alright, so I covered netherrack, soul sand, quartz real quick. I showed you the gas. This is the magma dude. Can I get over to him without falling into this lava and dying? Okay. Okay, that's when I wanted him to drop. Good. Now these guys form into these small things. They go from large to how is it now? Wait, no. Large, medium to small, I think it is. I believe it's that is. The large cube is a lot bigger than that. What we just killed first was the medium that split into the tiny or small ones. And then they dropped this right here. This magma cream. This is an item that you use within brewing to make fire-resistant potions, which you use a lot here. Because, I mean, as you can see, we're surrounded by fire and lava and brimstone. Essentially, I think that's what this was originally supposed to be. This brimstone. And that is like way up there. I'll have to see if I can get up there and block off that lava source to get this flowing lava out of here. Good. Alright, so we have our portal here, and then what we probably should do is encase it in cobblestone, because we're pretty well out in the open. As you can see, that gas almost destroyed it. The gas are about the only thing that can actually destroy a portal. You want to make sure you leave a flint and steel here, and then in the case that does happen, so you can relight your portal. Otherwise, you're trapped here. The only way to get out of here is to kill yourself. Because if you die in the nether, you reform back in the overworld. Alright, floating blocks. Oh, there is one other block here I want to show you. Where? Ow! Shoot! I'm on fire! Oh, he's up there. Shoot! Let me hide myself. No! I'm probably gonna die here. I don't want to lose any of this stuff. Okay, let's heal up real quick. Alright, you can kind of see it from here. It's a yellow type block right there. Alright, that's called glowstone. That is a light source block. Get up here again. And there's two ways to mine this. If you mine it with a regular pick, it'll drop up. It'll drop from 1 to 4 pieces of glowstone dust, which you can also use in potion brewing and stuff like that. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. But if you mine it with an enchanted silk touch pick, you actually will mine the block as whole, and you won't lose any of your glowstone. Because, you know, it takes 4 glowstone dust to reform that glowstone block. So if you get 1 glowstone for every time you mine, you need to mine 4 of those blocks just to get 1 block back. Which is why silk touch is really important when you're dealing with trying to collect glowstone from the nether. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to have to come back and encase this portal. So when you look how close again, he was right there, almost killing me. I didn't see where he was. He was actually below us, and I didn't see it. You'll hear those things well before you see them. All right. Now, that feature over there, that Nether Fortress that's over there, I'm not going to cover it in this episode. I will cover that in a separate episode because there's a lot to go over with that feature of the Nether as well. I just wanted to cover getting into the Nether and the basics of the Nether blocks and stuff like that. There's a few other things that we do have to cover in here, and I will go over that as we explore the Nether and stuff like that. All right, guys? So for now, what I need to do is I just want to double check. Oh, if you look here, this, when it formed its own portal, by the way, it used all 14. Okay, just so you see the corners are here. The game generates it that way. Now I just want to double check what these coordinates are. So I actually need to be maybe 2016. So yeah, okay. In order to match up perfectly with the portal that I have in the overworld, that should read as negative 28, and X doesn't matter at this point, and approximately block 16. And oh, no. Okay, look, you see what he did? He actually just destroyed our portal. So that means I need to get out of here. I need to protect this portal, which is why I gotta come back with some cobblestone to build up a cobblestone house. This is why you need to leave a flint and steel here, because we just do that. Alright, now that'll link up with the portal back in the overworld. But as you can see, this is not perfectly lined up. It's a close approximation. It still will align with the portal in the overworld at this time because there's no other portal generated. Alright, now if we form the portal next to it, then it might cause issues. Alright, now see how quickly the world is forming because the overworld is already generated. Wow, I'm amazed I actually hit him. Okay. Alright, now, we're back in the overworld. One last topic to cover. Time in the overworld does not stop. So, you saw we went into the Nether during the night cycle. I think we were halfway, maybe closer to the end. And as we were in the Nether, the night cycle finished and we went through most of the day cycle and we're getting ready to go back to the night cycle. Alright, guys? So, just keep in mind that time in the overworld doesn't stop. Although, things like crop growth, tree growth, all that other activity, that stuff stops. It does not continue. The only thing that continues in the overworld is the time cycle. Alright, the day and night cycles. Alright guys, so we've covered the Nether, we've got into the Nether, we managed to get a couple pieces of quartz which we start using to make some redstone contraptions. I covered the basics of how to get a portal set up and stuff like that. I will cover the math behind portal generation when I set up another portal. I found a couple locations that I would like to travel to for other resources. I don't want to do it all in the overworld because it takes too long. I'm going to use the Nether to travel to these other locations, and what I'll do is I'll set up those portals. When I do that, that's when I will go over figuring out the math of portal location. Alright guys, so that's the end of this episode. As always, I want to thank you for joining, for watching, and supporting. So you all take care now. Bye. I'm up here in the Nether, guys, collecting resources and trying to get some levels up for an episode stuff. I just wanted to show you that glowstone I was talking about. This is the glowstone block here, and it's a light source. Now, I don't have a silk touch pick. I just wanted to show you what would happen if you break one of these by itself. You see, that's what it drops. See that yellow dust stuff? That's glowstone dust. I happen to actually just manage to pick up 4. I can actually then take this 4, if I wanted to, put it back like this in a 4 formation 2x2. I can get that glowstone piece back if I wanted to. Alright guys? I just wanted to quickly point that out, alright? That's close though.